Hello, this is Scholar Shark doing some math today. In geometry, we're going to be looking at using properties of parallelograms. So first off, what is a parallelogram? It's a quadrilateral, four-sided object with both pairs of opposite sides being parallel. So that side is parallel to that side is parallel to that side, the opposite sides are parallel. But it has other properties. Parallelogram, not only is the opposite sides parallel, they're also congruent. Opposite angles in a parallelogram are congruent. And consecutive angles are complementary. So if this is angle 1 and angle 2, consecutive means they're right next to each other. Angle 1 plus angle 2, remember, supplementary means they add up to 180. So angle 1 plus angle 2 would equal to 180 there. And if I called this angle 3 and angle 4, angle 1 plus angle 3 would also equal 180 because they're next to each other. Angle 1 and angle 4 would be the same. Angle 2 and angle 3 would be the same because those are opposite angles. Angle 3 plus angle 4 would equal 180. And angle 2 and angle 4 would equal 180. And then lastly, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its diagonals bisect each other. So what that means is, if we have a parallelogram, and we draw in the diagonals, remember bisect means to split into two congruent parts. So that side is congruent to that side is congruent to that side. Kind of looks like a kite. Example 1. In the diagram, find the values of x and y. So let's look at x. So x plus 6 represents the length of this side, and we know that the bottom side is 13. We also know that opposite sides are congruent. So that means x plus 6 is 13. So that means x equals 7. Y is an angle, and we know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So that means 68 is equal to y, or y is equal to 68 degrees. Example 2. An expandable gate contains many parallelograms. Find the measure of angle ADC if the measure of angle DAB is 65. So they're saying DAB, that's 65 here. And we want to know ADC, we want to know this one here, X. Okay, those two angles are next to each other. So the angles add up to 180. So I just subtract 65 from 180, and we'll get 115. Checkpoint 1. X, Y, Z. Okay, so let's look at x. So 2x minus 3. The opposite, so that's a length of that side. So the opposite side is 37. So we're going to set them equal to each other. Plus 3 to both sides. 2x equals 40. So x equals If we divide both sides by 2, 20. Y is the same as 123 degrees because opposite angles are congruent. To find Z, we know that Z plus 123 is equal to 180 because they're supplementary. So Z is equal to 57 degrees. So those are X, Y, and Z. Example 3, the diagonals of a parallelogram STUV intersect at point W. Find the coordinates of W. So hint, use the midpoint formula. So we need to find the coordinates of W. And since we know the diagonals bisect each other, I'm just going to use this point here, 0, 0, S. And then U, the point U, is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is at 6, 5. So if you remember the midpoint formula, you just add your x coordinates together and then divide by 2, comma, add your y coordinates together and then divide by 2, and you get a point. So x1, 0, plus the second x coordinate, 6 divided by 2, comma, your y coordinate, which is also 0, the first one, and then your second y coordinate is 5 divided by 2. So I'll get 6 divided by 2, comma, 5 divided by 2, which is 3, comma, 2.5, or 5 divided by 2. Okay, so let's do something similar. Find the coordinates of point Z. And let's assume that this is a parallelogram. So V is at 0, 0. X is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7, 6. So Z is the midpoint between those two. So I'm going to add my x's together, 0 plus 7 divided by 2. Add my y's together, 0 plus 6 divided by 2. And I'll get 7 halves over 3, which is 3.5, comma, 3. That's where Z is located. Checkpoint 3. If FGHJ is a parallelogram, find MH and FH. Okay, so because this is a parallelogram, the diagonals split each other in half. So if that's 5, then MH is 5, and FH is the total, so FH would be 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. Hopefully this helped you out. Have a good day.